Let's go.
Try Taco Bell's $5, $7, and $9 lunch boxes.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes.
It is a hot, steamy Tuesday evening here in New York City, and it is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents the Tuesday game of the week presented by Corona. This is our playa. Toronto Blue Jays against the New York Yankees, game 2 of a 4-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with Paul O'Neill and David Cohn. I'm Michael Kay. Yankees won the first game of the series 7-6. They held off the Blue Jays in the 9th inning. Really had to hold your breath, but David Bednar ended up getting it done. And a big inning for the Yankees in the game, the 7th inning, where they started to flex a little bit.
Well, they had a tough road trip, so you want something good to happen. Cody Bellinger has been so good at home this year. 7th inning tie game now, 2-run homer from Bellinger, and later in the inning, all this happens with 2 outs. You see Jazz going the other way. Yeah, you got to steer it in there once in a while, right off the pole. A huge, yeah, we know Jazz. It's all about the fans. The home runs count, too.
All about the Pants. 5 games with the Pants, 10 for 19, 4 extra base hits, 4 ribbies, and for Bellinger, that's the best average in all of baseball for any home player. He loves Yankee Stadium. While the Yankees will try to make it 2 in a row, let's take a look at the pitching matchup in this game. It's the Home Depot working on a win pitching matchup. Getting the start for the Yankees, Will Warren. You see his numbers, 5-1, 3.42, very good. Dylan Cease, the big free agent signing for the Toronto Blue Jays, has been excellent. Look at the 75 strikeouts, and he is living up to advance notice, David.
Well, he really is. And the thing about Dylan Cease is he's always had this kind of talent. His fastball's in the upper 90s, sometimes triple digits. He's got 4 pitches. His fastball, slider, curveball can be unhittable at times when he gets it going. He's made a mechanical adjustment that has really paid off for him.
And the last 2 starts, he's gone 7 innings. So usually when you strike out a lot, you don't go that deep. But he has 10 strikeouts against the Angels, 9 strikeouts against Tampa Bay. Well, it's been a little bit of a rough go for David Bednar. He blew the save Sunday against the Mets. That was at Citi Field. And you had to hold your breath in the 9th inning yesterday against the Blue Jays. Meredith talks to David Bednar next, right here on Yes.
Welcome back to Yankees Baseball on Yes, where the Yankees look to make it 2 in a row against the Toronto Blue Jays. Hey, everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovitz. David Bednar certainly made it interesting in the 9th inning last night. With the bases loaded and George Springer at the plate, he fell behind 3-0. He then went on to throw 3 consecutive splitters to retire Springer. Next batter, Vlad Guerrero Jr., grounded out to end the inning and give the Yankees the 7-6 win. After the game, I spoke to Bednar and asked him how he had the confidence to throw 3 straight splitters to George Springer.
Honestly, just always been confidence in all 3 of my pitches at any time, any count, and want to be able to do that, and obviously put myself in some tough situations. But I have ultimate confidence in myself to get the job done.
How validating is that after yesterday, and considering the 2 guys that you needed to get through to get the win tonight?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, but at the end of the day, I trust myself. I trust the guys behind me, and just want to go right after guys.
Kept making pitches, and obviously got 2 really tough customers there at the end in Springer and Vladdy. So great job by him of, obviously having a tough one yesterday, and this one not getting off to a good start. And, he kind of shows who he is, his mettle, that he just doesn't give in, and he doesn't stop making pitches.
Bednar is 11 for 13 in save opportunities this season. He's pitched 3 out of the last 4 days, so don't expect him to be available tonight. Aaron Boone will have to decide who will be the closer should the Yankees be in that situation. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. When we get back, Will Warren gets the ball. First pitch next, right here on Yes.
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Tunnel to Towers. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to T2T.org. By Sage, proud accounting software provider of the New York Yankees. And by Nissan, Hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. Some of the stars through the years at the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Big Bernie got some big hits. Will Warren's going to get the start for the New York Yankees. He has pitched very well in his second season. Didn't miss a start last year. Always takes his turn. And we'll take a look at the starting lineup the Blue Jays will send against him. George Springer leads off as the DH. Look what Vlad Guerrero has done against the Yankees since the beginning of last year. 403, pretty good. Dalton Varsho in center field hits third. Then it's Okamoto, Pinego, and Sanchez in the middle of the order. And Schneider, Jimenez, and Heineman, they finish out the starting nine.
And yes, indeed, Will Warren's going to make his 10th start here in the Bronx and towing that slab in the boogie down. And he's been really good this year. Those numbers tell a story. And let's tell you a little bit more in our Nissan Pitcher Scout Report. And really a ticket to ride. That's in reference to his four-seam fastball that has great carry. It's not about the velo. It's about the movement. Born to run again on that fastball. The two-seamer runs, the four-seamer rides. And he's running down a dream because he's on it this year. He's establishing himself. And he's starting to feel it.
You're in the game, Coney. There's music all over this place.
No accidents, Paul. Let's take a look at the defense behind it. Brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Bellinger, Grisham, and Judge in the outfield left to right. Infield, McMahon, Volpe, Chisholm, and Rice. That's third to first. Austin Wells back behind the plate. And Spencer Jones gets his first start in pinstripes here at the stadium. Springer's ready. Warren's ready. Let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is a ball, and we're underway. First inning, Springer got a hit yesterday. It's his 1,500th career hit.
It seems like he's got a lot of them against the Yankees. Always hits the Yankees well. Whether he's having a good year or a bad year, and doesn't stop now.
Another first inning single for Springer. Now let's take a look at the home plate umpire John Tumpain. The umpire scouting report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. He's considered neutral, 7th big league season. He's the crew chief, and he has the greatest head of hair of any umpire working the game. But here's the deal, Paul. This is yesterday when he's on the base paths. No product. Today, as a home plate umpire, he's got big product. Oh yeah, he knows what's going on.
He's got extensions going when he's behind the plate.
There's a strike to Guerrero. Brock Ballou's at first. Brennan Miller at second, and Ben May is the third base ump. Blue Jays are 21-26. And quickly 0-2 on Guerrero.
Well, it doesn't seem long ago, Michael. He was up with the game on the line last night, and now he's back at the plate today. Actually grounded out on a pitch. Coney, we talked about that was a hittable pitch, and I think that was very lucky to get out of that, obviously.
Strike three, and Guerrero knew it. He gets so many of those, David. He's strike three looking.
Yeah, well, this is the born to run part. You know, this is not the ticket to ride. See, the runs right back to the outside corner. That's the two-seamer, and he's throwing both. It's hard to get him sized up. You see, it looks outside, and next thing you know, it runs right back to the outside corner.
So here is Dalton Varsho, number 3 hitter in the order. Pitch outside. Warren has a 29.8% K rate, so he does ring up strikeouts. In his previous starts, the Yankees as a team 7-2. He is 5-1. Ground ball and off the glove of Volpe and trickles into right field. Judge will get it in, moving to third is Springer, and a base hit for Varsho.
Well, ball not caught, but the bad thing is it was not knocked down and kept in the infield, too, so it allows Springer to get to third base. It was a shortstop. I mean, your main concern right here is to keep the ball in the infield, and you know, then you keep the first and second.
Watch Volpe here. It looked like he got blocked out. You see, he had a little false start there, like he maybe didn't pick it up off the bat from where he was. Might have got blocked out by Warren on the mound.
Here is Okamoto. Way outside. Last night, Okamoto, first game against the Yankees, 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. but he hits the ball hard. He's 6th in the American League in hard hit rate, 54.5%.
Yeah, we talked about him a little bit last night. 29 years old, first year with the Jays under a $60 million contract, but he had 11 solid years. Yomiuri Giants. He's a 6-time All-Star. Led the league in home runs 3 times over there, most being in 2023 with 41.
And he leads the Blue Jays with 10. Swing and a miss. 2-2. 6-time All-Star in Japan, 3-time home run leader, nicknamed the Young General. First and third, 1 out. And the count full.
Even that four-seamer, Comey, it goes both ways. I saw him in the clubhouse yesterday and said, hey, and you know, I said, do you hold the ball, on that perfect four-seam fastball? I said, yeah, but unintentionally sometimes cut it this way or that way. And I said, don't change. Don't think about it. Sometimes the best things that happen with a baseball just happen naturally.
That's a great point. You're right. It is a lot of natural movement.
Fouled away. You look up and down the Blue Jay lineup, and a lot of them are in slumps. So Okamoto is 7 for his last 36. They're struggling. Guerrero is now 6 for his last 38. Varsho is one of the hotter players. Grounded foul. So they're making Warren work on the first real hot day of the year. It's hot yesterday, but today's a different hot. And tomorrow's supposed to be even hotter.
Can we wear white shoes yet?
I got him on.
You already got the white shoes on?
Absolutely.
Pre-holiday?
I think it's got to be after Memorial Day. Dave.
Yeah.
Rules are rules.
Shh. Don't tell anybody.
Three, 2. Popped up. Jazz Chisholm in shallow center field. Makes the catch. Tagging is Springer, but he just draws the throw. Cut off by Rice. Big out for Warren.
Yeah, it is, and you got to be careful there if you're Jazz, because if that's a read from Springer at third base, and if you catch a second baseman going back on the ball continually and really not able to plant and get a good throw off, you might try to steal a run. Jazz with a good throwing arm, though.
So here is Yohendrick Pinago. Seven for his last 31. Now first and third, 2 outs. Fouled away. I mentioned the Blue Jays 21 and 26, and the Yankees are 29 and 19.
Maybe he's a Rolling Stones fan.
There you go, Coney. Yeah, I'm glad you gave that some thought. With the lips on the neck. You don't know how to explain it, but it must be very comforting if you're Warren, knowing that you can get away with fastballs in the strike zone. You get foul balls, you get swing and misses. Most people, if they throw balls in the strike zone, the ball's going to get hit hard.
Yeah, that is really the key. One of the keys to his success is kind of sneaky. It jumps on guys.
Mm-hmm.
Count 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, just underway. Warren deals. Count 3-2, so the runner at first will go. Springer will stay put at third. 3-2, 2 outs. Warren having trouble with the pitch con. Now everybody's set. Runner from first goes. Pitch. Chopped over the mound. Volpe gets the out. And Warren pitches around the 2 singles. Blue Jays strand 2, and the Yankees coming to bat. We came back on the air. Paul said, well, what order are the Yankees batting? Well, here it is. Trent Grisham leads off, then Ben Rice and Aaron Judge. Middle third, it's Bellinger, Chisholm, and McMahon. And the bottom third, Volpe, Spencer Jones, and Austin Wells. And who are they facing, David?
It's going to be Wyatt Earp on the mound.
Very nice.
10th start on the year for Mr. Cease. And those numbers tell a story. And he's been outstanding. He's always had that kind of talent. Let's tell you a little bit more in our Nissan Pitcher Scout Report. And welcome to the jungle right here in the Bronx, American League East, highway to hell. That's kind of what it's like facing him sometimes with his stuff if you're a hitter. And another one bites the dust. He is a strikeout pitcher, and he's made a couple of mechanical adjustments I'll get into the game. But, yes, he's on top of it right now.
Coming, you were all classic rock today. I'm digging it.
Got one of those moods today.
Here's Trent Grisham. Now, you have Wyatt Earp. I've got 2 other people. The W.B. Mason guy.
Yeah.
And Jim Croce.
Jim Croce. Croce had curly hair, though, right?
No, I'm just looking at the mustache.
Okay.
Broken bat, looper into right field, and it drops for base hit. I don't know if Sanchez was trying to deke as if he was going to catch the ball. Take a look at the defense, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. You see how they line up for the Blue Jays, but we take a closer look at Dalton Varsho, our CarShield defensive player profile. 83 defensive runs saved since 2022, and that leads all major league players at every position. That's how good he is.
You know, the amazing part about that is he used to be a catcher.
Yeah, that is.
He was a catcher.
You know, when you watch Bellinger's home run last night, I mean, he got to the wall. He just missed it. That ball had actually hit the top of the wall last night. Varsho almost came down with it.
Tap to the mound. Cease. Nice play there by Jimenez, but then loses the handle when he's transferring to the bare hand.
I don't think you're going to turn 2 here. This ball was really chopped, and it takes a long time for Cease to get, pivot, turn around. But that was a good play. That ball could have ended up in center field, and you got some good things going for the Yankees.
Sometimes you grab the ball and it's a palm ball, and you go ahead and throw it anyway. Can't get a grip on it. There's another one there.
Here's Aaron Judge. Judge started that 2-out, nobody on rally in the 7th inning. Singled off the left field wall. Bellinger homered, tie game 5-5. And then Jazz Chisholm with a runner on. Hits one off the left field foul pole. 0-2. Cease is 30 years old, 8th big league season, signed a 7-year, $210 million deal in December, covering his age 30 to 36 seasons. There's some deferrals in that, and that brings the value to $175 million. 1-2. If you look at his career, the interesting trend is good season, bad season, good season, bad season. And there's really no rhyme or reason to it. last year, 4.55 ERA, so he's due for a good season. And he gets that pitch. 100-mile-an-hour fastball past Judge, 2 away.
Like Warren, same thing as you can get away with hitting the middle of the plate. And this ball's by Aaron Judge, who really is the best hitter in baseball right now. And it just, I mean, 100 is hard to catch up. A little ride at the top of the strike zone.
Oh, that was 100 with 20 inches of vertical induced break. So that's a little different level. That's the one that really carries and rides. That's that movement up in the strike zone. That's a different level when you look at the underneath the hood.
Wow, it went for a rebound back there, Tom Payne, didn't it?
That's Leslie Nielsen back there tonight.
Some people take pride in hitters striking out. I never liked it.
Two 2-0 on Bellinger. Bellinger certainly channeling Dorothy Gale. There is no place like home for him. 384, 478 on base percentage on the road, 186.
Oh my God! Yeah. And many times I didn't know her last name was Gale.
Really? I knew
Dorothy
that you'd
Gale.
be impressed by that.
Yeah, I knew Toto too, but I didn't know the last name.
Because there's a tornado, gale, winds, it comes together.
Bringing it all together.
Take a look at Bellinger's home run from last night on the Optimum Fiber famously fast replay.
And he's swung the bat all night, but you look at that ball bounced off the top of the wall, and Varsho had gotten there, but it looked like he hit his elbow against the wall, and it kind of jars the glove where you can't stab at the ball. But what a huge home run for the Yankees. Coming off that road trip, that tied the game up and gave Jazz Chisholm an opportunity to hit the one off the foul pole.
Taken all the way, 3-1 on Bellinger. Runner at first base, 2 men out. Fouled away, 3-2, so Rice will go 3-2, 2 outs. You know, we talk about the reliability of Warren last year not missing a start. Dylan Cease has never missed a start in his career.
Wow. Yeah, Coney and I were talking to how he kind of short arms the ball, not the way you were taught to pitch, huh, Coney? But it just must save his elbow and his shoulder that way, huh?
Yeah, he's always been durable. He's definitely made some changes to his delivery. I'll get into it maybe in the next inning when we have a little more time.
Runner goes. And there's ball 4.
Hotter Yankees coming into the plate right here. Jazz, and with the big home run yesterday. And, of course, we got to talk about the pants. Stanton's pants. Caballero's bat. Everything's working for him now.
Stan says he loves it. And somebody asked Stanton, would you be willing to wear Jazz's pants? When you come back, he said, we'll see.
Yeah. You know, a lot of guys wear tights to underneath their workout stuff now.
Well, Michael, he then told me that he has other pairs of pants. So Jazz can keep those as long as he's hitting like he's hitting. He'll put a different pair of pants on Giancarlo Stanton. But Jazz never asked permission the first time he grabbed them. Giancarlo didn't even realize that he had taken his pants.
You got to ask permission if you could take somebody's pants.
I think.
A little bit of a delay here. First inning certainly not good pace. First and second, 2 men out. Blocked by Heineman. Yankees had 5 stolen bases last night. Heineman has thrown out 6 of 18, so he's at 33%. And Valenzuela was at 33% before the Yankees took 5 on him. 1-1 on Jazz Chisholm. You know, players actually convince themselves that a change of uniform, the way they wear a uniform, could break their slump. I mean, we go back to Jason Giambi. He wore a golden thong when he was in a slump, and he actually got Jeter to wear it once.
I'm glad I wasn't in the locker room at that time, to tell you the truth, but I'll believe your story, Michael. This game will make you do some crazy things.
I got 1,000 different thoughts in my head right now, and I'm keeping them right there.
It's so funny you said that, because I said today, that line, David's shutting up. Because he knows himself. The 2-2. That was close.
Yeah, in this situation, you almost wonder why he didn't tap his helmet for this, because you know, you got men in scoring position.
Yeah, it's a strikeout to end the inning. That's the time you do want to challenge. And he might have got it.
Yep.
Runners will go. 3-2, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Jazz Chisholm, and that'll do it. No runs to hit, and 2 men left on base. We go to the second inning. 0-0. Daily Dingle for free every day for a chance at a profit boost if your selected player hits a home run. And here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Trent Grisham's plus 470, and Jazz Chisholm Jr. is plus 600.
Jazz has been hot. That might be worth a challenge.
Jesus Sanchez leads off against Warren as we start the second, and the first pitch is a breaking ball for strike. Slowly back to Warren. 1 away.
You know, it's so hard to gauge durability among pitchers in today's game. But Will Warren, what he did last year, taking the ball every time, as a rookie making 30 starts, he seems to have that. You know, that athleticism that leads you to believe that he's sustainable. You know, his durability is going to be a plus.
Davis Schneider takes a strike.
I mean, he's not out there grunting every pitch. He uses a lot of natural movement. Got plenty of stuff, obviously. So
pitches off his fastball, 4-seam, 2-seam, about 65% of the time.
And in your opinion, I mean, more fastball, easier on your arm than any kind of breaking ball or split finger, anything. Right?
Well, I think so, especially with the new challenge system. It's more important than ever for guys like Will Warren or Cam Schlittler to own the zone with their fastballs.
Let's take a look at his arsenal on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
You know, the guys who nibble nowadays are getting hurt. Their stock is going down. The guys who challenge with their fastballs like Warren does, you see his arsenal, those are the guys that are succeeding in today's game. And it's the 4-seam, 2-seam. The sinker 4-seamer with different spin just really gives hitters trouble.
And David, I talked to him about those 2 fastballs, and he said, first of all, it comes down to attacking the zone, throwing strikes. But anytime a hitter has to guess which fastball is coming, the odds are generally in your favor. He is not at all surprised by the swing and miss he has been getting this season, throwing the 4-seamer 40% of the time, the 2-seamer 26% of the time, and especially to lefties, that 2-seamer and the changeup have been particularly effective for Warren.
You know, in a day and age when most pitchers are pitching away from their fastballs,
Yeah.
the Yankees have 2 young homegrown starters that pitch off of their fastballs and are very successful doing it. Will Warren is striking out hitters at about a 30% pace this year and only walking hitters around a 6% pace. That is just an incredible ratio so far. That's the last piece of the puzzle. That change up there, that's got good action on it. When he gets a little better feel for that one, he's going to start punching out lefties right and left.
Grounded, grabbed there by Rice. And a 1-2-3 inning for Warren as the Blue Jays go down in order.
It was announced earlier today that Garrett Cole will make his 2026 season debut on Friday against the Rays. It has been a long road back from Tommy John surgery for Cole, who has not appeared on a major league mound since Game 5 of the 2024 World Series. When I asked Cole how excited he is just to get back out there, he said, "I am a level 10 of excitement." When I asked about his expectations for his first time out, he said, "I'm going to compete every pitch. I'm going to exhaust myself. I'm going to pitch with conviction and aggressiveness, get after the strike zone, and help the team win." He will be on some type of a pitch count. They're not going to push him too far, but guys, they thought that this was the right move in bringing Garrett Cole back now instead of having him make another minor league start. He's checked pretty much every box. He told me it feels great coming out of his hand. The velocity is there. It'll probably uptick when he's out there on the major league mound, but certainly a good litmus test, as he put it, against the Rays for his first outing of 2026.
And it's his first outing since Game 5 of the World Series 2024. And that's the injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. 0-2 on McMahon, 0 for his last 23. Didn't go. Great news for the Yankees. Last time out in a rehab start, he actually hit 100 on a fastball. Jimenez on the broken background ball gets McMahon.
The way he stays through this ball, Coney, it's got a little extra hop than you're used to seeing. It kind of jams him and just blows the bat up in his hand.
There's Anthony Volpe. Soft ground ball to Jimenez. 2 down.
You know, you're really caught in the middle. When you're facing a really, really good pitcher, as Cease is, and you've gone over his numbers, it's like, all right, we'll take spend a lot of his pitches long. But if you get in 2 strike counts, he's got the ability to punch you out too. So, you know, you're kind of caught in between. Is, you know, hit him early, a pitch I can hit, or try to wait him late and take the chance of striking out.
Spencer Jones swings and misses, and once again he swings out from under his helmet. In the big leagues, 3 for 18, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. That's a couple of ribbies. Let's check out one of today's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Spencer hitting 1 or more home runs is plus 675. This is his first time batting at Yankee Stadium. All of his other at-bats were on the road. Sky the other way and out of play.
Just dying to see him get a hold of one and see where it goes, because he's got some bat speed. Incredible.
I watched batting practice, and I watched him the first round, and he hit a couple in the monuments. I'm like, I've seen that before. But that last round, he hit a couple balls over the MasterCard thing, which is above the the batter's eye, which
it's almost off the scoreboard.
Yeah, you don't see that unless Judge and Stanton are up there.
Swing and a miss as Jones down on strikes. Cease retires the Yankees in order. Well, it's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And tonight's picture is of Myra, who enjoyed one of the best days of her life earlier this season when she was honored as the veteran of the game at the stadium. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride and mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. Corona scoreboard, top of the third, 0-0.
Those old-fashioned fans coming back into vogue fashion, huh?
Tell you, when I was in public school,
Yeah.
and it's, we didn't have air conditioning back then.
Right.
You fan yourself, and teachers would yell at you. You make yourself hotter that
Yeah,
way.
exactly. Well, I don't think so.
That one's just foul.
I'm glad you grew up like me, Michael. There was nothing worse than going to school in June when it was 100 and there's no air conditioning.
There's no air conditioning. And somehow I used to walk uphill to school, and then when I came home, uphill. I don't know how it happened.
You did that too.
It just shifted, yeah.
But the Bronx, it moves during the day.
It moves during the day. 1-1. Volpe comes in, gets a nice hop, and retires Heineman. 1 away.
You see a lot of choppers, Coney, and that's high velocity kind of knocking the bat out of your head.
Back to the top of the order, and George Springer. "36 years old, 13th big league season from New Britain, Connecticut."
Coney and I were going over that, Bednar won that game coming back from the 3-0 count and going with 3 split-fingered fastballs to Springer. As good a fastball hitter he is, he did not give in. And in my mind, that really, shut down that inning.
Yeah, not just 3 in a row splitters, 3 outstanding splitters, just nasty, perfectly located.
Broken bat, charging McMahon, and he gets Springer.
The movement that Warren gets on that two-seam fastball, I mean, he just sawed him off. Look, there's the bat.
Yeah, that's...
Watch this two-seamer, watch the movement, just chase him in. That's the born to run. Just running in and just sawing him off. Bruce would be proud. Bruce would be proud right there. Look at that. Wow. Explosion.
Guerrero fouls it away.
Well, you brought up Rock Raines last night, just being able to bench. I mean, don't tell me he wouldn't walk right down there, because it was almost an embarrassment when you got sawed off like that. He'd walk down, just look at you, kind of shake his head, walk away. You knew what he was doing. He's trying to embarrass you.
One and one on Vlad. Struck out looking in the first inning. High fly ball. Left field. Bellinger will put it away. And Warren has retired 8 in a row. In 1998, and baseball's biggest moments brought to you by Corona. This is our playa. Benitez plunks Tino, and then all heck breaks loose. That's Strawberry going down into the dugout. Then Alan Mills takes it to Darrell. And Paul trying to be the peacemaker here.
I wasn't even involved in it. Tino was trying to put his shoulder back after he got drilled.
That was not your typical dancing in the dark baseball fight.
No, that one spilled over into the dugout, and I've never seen one quite like that. It got ugly, it got dangerous.
I heard, Paul, that Tino was actually hurting for about a month after.
Yeah, he wasn't the same guy, really. I mean, he got hurt. I mean, that was a nasty, nasty brawl. Started off with a terrible pitch.
It was Austin Wells leading off the bottom of the third against Dylan Cease. Wells on the road trip was 2 for 23. Longer stretch, 3 for 32. And we're more than a quarter of the way through the season. He has 3 home runs and just 5 runs batted in. What do you see him, Paul? Because the guy hit 21 home runs last year.
Yeah, he just digs himself a hole every year at the beginning of this season. And as a player, you're just trying to play catch up. And then you try to get a little more out of your swing. You try to go a little bit, harder, and it just compounds itself where, you saw him behind on the fastball, ahead of the changeup. right there, not able to really, command the strike zone. It's just that there's so many things going on in your head right now.
See, that's what I was going to ask you. A slump must start out mechanically, but then it has to spill over into mental. Right?
Oh, it does. I mean, I can remember numerous times in slumps where you go out on the on-deck circle, you got it, you got yourself together, you're confident, and I'm telling you, you start walking to the plate, and it's all gone. It's strike one, strike two, and in your mind, here we go again. It's very hard to control your emotions when you're going through this.
6.5 WAR for the 2 years. That's 6th in baseball for catchers, and this year it's 0.3, and it's 30th for catchers. And he swings and misses on the change. Yeah, he admitted the other day he's caught between.
This is a good changeup. I mean, location's not great, but when you take a little bit off of that 100-mile-an-hour fastball, very hard to adjust with 2 strikes.
Yeah, from 100 to 84 miles an hour. So the front to back style. One thing, Cease has made a big adjustment I mentioned earlier in the pitcher scouting report. Check his eyes out. You mentioned the other day about, do you look at the target the whole time? He changed. Watch his head. Look away from the target right in the middle of his delivery.
Almost like looking in the upper deck real quick.
Yeah,
huh?
Fernando Valenzuela-like almost. But what that does is it slows you down. It keeps you over the rubber longer. The old school saying from pitching coaches is you got to stay back. Well, a lot of times your eyes are what helps you stay back. And for Dylan Cease, it's been a really solid change for him in his delivery. He used to look at the target the whole time. And now right in the middle of his delivery, he looks away, and that helps him slow himself down and gather.
And Grisham is punched out.
Greg Maddox was that way. Great control pitcher, would look down away from the target, but Dylan Cease just paints on the inside corner, and John Tom Payne, the Ripper, lets him know. The head, look away, look away. Now pick it up late, and everything's together at that point. The synchronicity of the lower and the upper half are all together that way.
Now, he said, David, when I was keeping my head on the target, I was yanking and cutting a lot. So I wanted to see what would happen if I changed.
It's working.
It's funny. You play this game your whole life, and even at a veteran level, as good as he is, you're always fine for something to get a little bit better. Huh?
It helps your tempo, slow you down, keeps you under control a little better. You don't rush that way. It's a reminder to maintain your tempo, to stay under control.
1-2 on Rice. Rice grounded back to the mound. They got the force at second. That was in the first inning.
Aaron Judge even does that, right, Michael? From the on-deck circle, over the screen, over the adult's head, right into the young kid's glove.
And that smile will be on that face for the rest of the night. Two. 3-2. You see, Cease wears number 84, not a typical baseball number, but he's into meditation and yoga, and he wears 84 because that's the number of poses in yoga. He calls it a shout out to yoga spirituality. Yoga.
We did a yoga commercial, Michael.
Yeah, we did a long time ago.
I didn't know that we went through 84 poses. We did a yoga commercial.
We had 84 takes at least.
I was chapped. I was trying to get on a plane out of there. We were going through another one.
3-2. Swing and a miss. And down goes Rice as Cease strikes out the side. He has 6 strikeouts in 3 innings. Then to gear at MLBshop.com, from official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies. We've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Yankees, the official source for your Yankees gear.
Seems like we went from jackets to shorts in like 3 days.
When we be back, don't throw them away. At the end of the week, it's supposed to be cool again.
Varsho takes upstairs from Warren, and Davey, you have to be enjoying this. A real pitcher's duel we have.
Love it. Both guys on top of their game, dictating the pace. I mean, it really does come down to the basics for pitchers. If you've got good stuff and you put the hitter on the defensive and you throw strike one as often as these guys are, that's the difference. Mil Stoudemire used to bring that to us every year, that stat. If you get strike one on a hitter, they hit 130 something. If they get ball one, they hit 330 something. And it's as simple as that.
Served into left center field, a base hit for Varsho. He's 2 for 2. Makes the turn, but Grisham will fire into Janice. It's a leadoff single for Dalton Varsho.
A really good 2-strike hitter right there. I mean, ball away. It's up a little bit, but not trying to pull it. That 2-seamer going away, just goes with it. Lines it into left center field. Varsho really good speed, but only 3 stolen bases on the year.
Good plate coverage.
Okamoto takes outside.
A little hesitant right there. You think that ball was away? I thought it was close.
Yeah, you know, Wells can make it look good, but that was just a bit off. Things change a little bit, right? For this game, you know, Varsho gets the hit. Now you fall down 2-0. And the inning kind of changes here.
You know, there was all, you know, during the bench jockey to, you know, how you going to pitch from the stretch. And, you know, is it that much of a difference when you're not used to it during the game?
Initially, your first time to get in the stretch, you know, this can happen where you kind of lose it just for a second. Especially if there's a runner on first that kind of distracts you on potential stolen base.
And he walked him on 4 pitches. So first and second, nobody out here in the 4th inning for Toronto.
Just that fast, right? You can get out of it.
Here's Pinago. Grounded to short to end the 1st inning. Blue Jays had runners on the corners and 1 man out, but Okamoto popped up the 2nd, and then Pinago grounded out to Anthony Volpe. Yankees looking for a double play. And there's a strike.
Ben Rice playing all the way behind and back at first base. Warren trying to get down, get the ball on the ground.
That's driven to right field. That's going to be in for a base hit and go to the wall. Varsho rounds 3rd. They're sending him home. The throw is not in time. Moving to 3rd is Okamoto. So Pinago with an RBI single. It's 1-0 Blue Jays.
Like you said, Coney, I mean, that's a great piece of hitting, but this has happened so quick, and that's a pretty good pitch. Born in on his hands, he just pulled him in there and was able to line it to right field. Varsho initially thought that ball had a chance of being caught, so we kind of got a late jump.
This is well done. I mean, as Paul said, that's a sweeper that's probably just inside off the plate a bit, but he beat him to the punch.
1-1 on Jesus Sanchez.
You know, when I mentioned about Warren's changeup, that's the best pitch he's got to get a ground ball in this situation against left-handed batters. That was a pretty good one there, but just missed. But that's the last piece of the puzzle for him, I think, when he gets good command of that pitch.
2-1. Single walk single. It's 1-0 Toronto. We saw a lot of this last year where he would have that one bad inning. Haven't seen it this year. And that one's looped into left field. It's going to be in there for a base hit. Okamoto scores, RBI single for Sanchez, and it's 2-0.
It's another good pitch, and then Wells got doinked on the head with the backswing of the bat.
Michael Schuck, one of the Yankee athletic trainers, talking with Wells.
See another jam shot, but then as the bat comes back, hits Wells right on top of the head. It really doesn't look like much, but that's that bat. I mean, there's a lot of force going on that.
Yeah.
Let's listen to how it sounds. Looks like he's going to stay in. Tom Payne trying to help him up. And now Matt Blake gives him more time as he walks to the mound to settle down Warren. And that's a tough position.
Day in and day out, there's always something. Bats, foul tips, wild pitches.
That's why when you look throughout history at the greatest catchers in the history of the game, the ones that could produce both ways, offensively and defensively, really belong in a different category.
Here's Davis Schneider. Schneider is really struggling. So he struck out in the second. He's 4 for his last 48. But he has a 20% walk rate, which is 4th in Major League Baseball. Playing second base tonight. Shows bunt, takes outside.
You got to figure the way Cease is throwing the ball at this point. You know, any way you can move runners over, try to tack on another one, and make it that much more difficult for the Yankees.
McMahon. So the sack bunt. 5-3. Runners move up.
You know, first and second, nobody out is a different bunting situation than just a regular man on first sack bunt situation. And that's well done. Deadened and bunted in the proper place. Make the third baseman field it. mission accomplished.
Yeah, a lot of people kind of jab at bunts, you know, kind of jab at the ball. They just kept the bat completely there and kind of gave with the ball, which deadens it.
Yankees bring the infield in, so that's what that bunt accomplishes. And the pitch to Jimenez is upstairs 1-0.
I've seen Warren kind of get burned on his sweeper twice to left-handed batters in this inning, and middle counts.
Really not bad pitches either. Both of them, you know, ended up on the handle of the bat.
2-1.
Good time for a changeup right here. A good thrown changeup can get this guy on the ground. Four-seamer right on by is good too.
He's still setting up for that changeup, Cody. Just had to throw another heater in there.
And now you go for a strikeout. Now you're back to 2-2. To me, when it's in doubt, when you're out there and you're trying to pitch out of a jam, there's two places to go. If you're a right-handed pitcher on a left-handed batter, it's fastballs in, speed them up, and soft away to get them on the ground. You got both options here if you're Warren and Wells.
Served into left field. It is a base hit. Piñago scores. Sanchez held at third. So a little bloop single for Jimenez. Pitch is 26 ribby, and it is 3-0 Toronto.
Yeah, this is the Blue Jays you saw last year. Just tough at bats, and if the pitcher makes a mistake, this looks like a two-seamer. Just didn't get it in far enough to get to the inside corner. It comes out over the middle of the plate where you can fight it off as a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, that would have been my fourth choice there.
Here's Tyler Heineman. Rounded to short in the third. He's 2 for his last 26. More recently 0 for 14. And it's a safety squeeze, popped up and out of play over the screen.
Again, Toronto is doing everything just to get one run at a time because you've got the ball in the hand of Dylan Cease, who's been able to shut the Yankees down and pretty much the whole league to this point.
Again, a safety squeeze, and this time Wells absorbs the blow of a foul ball. Rough inning for the Yankee catcher.
It's just, you know, in the back of his mind, he's like, you know, I'm struggling at the plate. I'm getting beat up behind the plate. I mean, when is this going to end?
The tools of ignorance.
Runner goes, popped up. Volpe and McMahon. Volpe makes the call. And the runner was way off of first base, but Volpe didn't attempt to fire to Rice for the double play. So 2 away.
A big out there, Coney. I mean, you're playing damage control right now, just trying to get into that dugout with the Yankees still in the game. And mission accomplished right there, keeping that ball in the infield.
Here's George Springer. Swung on and missed. Springer 1 for 2. 3-0 Toronto, top of the fourth. First and third, 2 outs.
"68 pitches in the bottom of the fourth on a hot night. That's pretty taxing.
That's a grind.
Ground ball. McMahon gets Springer, and that'll do it. So a rough inning for Warren and the Yankees as the Blue Jays take a 3-0 lead behind Dylan Cease. The Yankees baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Beautiful sky above Yankee Stadium. It's like pink brush strokes against the azure blue sky. Postcard.
That's what John Starling used to call a wonderful tableau.
Tableau.
One and one on Judge, who struck out in the first inning. So the Yankees have a little bit of a hill to climb against a top-flight pitcher. Came in with a 2.41 ERA as a 3-0 lead, bottom of the fourth. One and two.
Yankees 1-0 with the John Sterling patch on from last night.
Yes, they are. This is the second day.
I was reading an article today that John Sterling, I didn't realize, was with the Atlanta Braves for a while, and with Bob Gibson, and it was such a a contrast of personality. Gibson was like he pitched, just intense. Sterling had his calls and all the stuff. Imagine that going on in the booth, huh?
The 2-2, and that's where John got to know Joe Torre.
Oh, okay.
That's where their relationship started. They were very close.
I'll never forget, it was not announced. Bob Gibson walked into our locker room in the playoffs in the World Series, and it's like, what are you, hopefully pitching tonight? What are you doing? But, close friend of Joe Torre.
Strike three, and Judge challenges, and he's taking his guard off. He's walking to first base. He doesn't think that was a strike. And he's right. He hardly ever challenges.
Yeah, and he got to the first base. He said, "That's terrible." And you know what? This is the pitch. Over and over, you saw called on Aaron Judge for years. I mean, he's not your typical hitter.
Could have reversed the ripper back there, right? He gave him the ripper.
Did.
So, Paul, we joke about it. We joke about Tom Payne and his hair. But does that annoy you when an umpire punches you out like that?
I don't know why they take so much, pleasure in having an out call. But, it is part of the game. It's part of the entertainment, the show. But, yeah, it used to annoy you as a hitter. In the back of my mind, I'm saying, I just got embarrassed by the pitcher. Now I'm getting embarrassed by the umpire, too.
So that's for the, we had some pretty good ones. Dutch Rennert was unbelievable. Rom Luciano.
Uh-huh.
Left field off the bat of Bellinger coming on Piniago. One down. Check out the leaders brought to you by your local Tri-State Buick dealers. War leaders. Judge at 2.5. He's fourth. Bellinger is second in the league at 2.6. Bobby Witt Jr. leads the group at 3.3. And Kevin McGonigal, a kid, 2.6. Shea Langoliers, 2.4. A changeup way out in front.
Ooh, parachute changeup, right? They pulled the ripcord.
Yeah, I mean, with that good of a fastball, you don't need the best changeup, but the velocity is what, usually 8, 9. His is more than that.
That was 79 miles an hour, that changeup. Took a little more off of that one.
One and one. Two and one on Chisholm, who struck out in the first inning. He's 10 for 20 since putting on Giancarlo Stanton's pants. Foul ball as Jazz went down. Not sure what happened.
Looks like maybe his spike caught. As you're going through the ball, sometimes, you know, oh, he twisted it a little bit, yeah.
He's trying to walk it off, and
It's like a basketball player rolling your ankle a little bit.
I was going to say, I mean, in high school, numerous times you come down and just do that ankle thing, and it hurts for a week.
Jazz not only using Stanton's pants, he's using Jose Caballero's bat. And he said he will continue to do so. Skips out of the way. David, this is pretty impressive. Cease's average fastball today is 98.3, and his average change is 82.5. That's a big separation.
Huge. And a slider and a curveball in the middle there.
See Caballero's bat there. Judge leads off first. Line foul.
And Michael Caballero may need that bat back soon. He's eligible to come off the IL on Friday. He told me he feels great. He was out in the field taking grounders, also able to throw to first base today. Got in the cage, took some swings. Finger feels okay in his mind. He is back Friday. Something tells me that's not his only bat.
Well, he didn't want to go on the IL. He didn't think he'd need to be out for 10 days. And Jazz Chisholm works a walk. So 2 walks here in the inning for Cease, and 3 on the game. And that brings up McMahon as the tying run.
Sean Warren elected to throw that pitch, you know, that inside two-seamer, and Cease right there in a big at-bat. It seems like a very hard, perfect pitch if it's made right, but very hard to hit the spot, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to thread the needle, because if you leave it out over the plate, it's a danger zone.
Mm-hmm.
High fly ball, left field and deep. Piñago back, trap, wall, see ya! A tie game, a 3-run home run for McMahon. Breaks an 0-24 slump and opens it up at 3.
Well, all of a sudden the Yankees, boom, we got a tie game, and then McMahon is 4th of the year. Seen a couple of them to left field in Yankee Stadium. You don't see a lot of lefties. You saw Jazz off the foul pole last night. A huge home run for the Yankees to tie this up after giving up 3.
Rough 4th inning for both starters. It's all tied at 3. Here's Volpe. 1-0.
Well, you look at a big inning usually, Coney, there's either an error or a walk in a 3-run homer, right? Something just, it compounds things.
Well, that's one thing about the Yankees, even though they've been criticized for all or nothing, they can get back in a game in a hurry because of what we just saw.
I almost said at the beginning of the inning, the way he's throwing, you're going to need a home run to really get back in this thing. If you think you're going to string 6-8 hits in a row, it's going to be very tough. And now things are, people relax a little bit. You're seeing better swings. Vinny Volpe's been really good since coming back.
So he picks up a single up the middle.
A four-seam fastball right there. And McMahon, he's got good power. When he stays on top of the ball and stays through it, doesn't come off. Watch that top hand through the ball. And really, that was a no-doubter. I mean, you called that off the bat, and you don't see that a lot in Yankee Stadium to a lefty.
The height of the fastball is everything. The difference between being just at the knees or below or at the belt or above, the right there at the thigh level is right to the power zone, especially for lefties. So
and
either
that would have
higher,
been a home run in all 30 parks.
higher or lower if you're a pitcher.
So Pete Walker, one out to settle down Cease.
Right down there. Well, that's a nitro zone, and McMahon's shown that he can go the other way with some pop.
The approval of the captain. Here's Spencer Jones. Volpe leads off first. Did he go? Yes, he did. 0-1.
Yeah, that's a pitch that Jones is really going to have to lay off of from Cease. He's not able, as big as he is, to catch up with that fastball letter high.
Oh, 2.
Only if they keep swinging on it, you're going to keep it staying in there, right?
Well, if you're on the mound and you see those two swings, you got to go right back up there again.
Mm-hmm.
Volpe over there looking like he wants to go. Kind of a false start there.
Got him with the change. Fastball upstairs, and then changes speed, pulls the string, and Jones way out in front.
Yeah, that is literally the expression, right? Pull the string. It's like you got a string on the ball and you pull it back towards you, and that's what a changeup effectively does. As you can see how far out in front he is of that 79-mile-an-hour changeup.
7 strikeouts. Volpe goes, throw to second. Got him. And Volpe looks back towards the dugout, so take a look at that.
It looked like he had a great jump and looked like the throw was on the other side of second base. I'd be very surprised. This must have been a quick tag. And Aaron Boone said enough's enough. Now we'll get a good angle here of when that glove hit. I really can't tell.
No, it's hard to tell.
A weird slide. He got both feet going in the bag at the same time.
The reason why Boone showed anger here is because you got to have a really decisive thing to overturn it. And so he's saying you should have called it safe and let them challenge it, and it probably would not have been overturned. So he says, get it right on the field. We'll see if there's enough there to overturn it.
Yeah. It's easy to say get it right, but that was really close.
Yep.
I can understand frustration on a really egregious call, but that's not an egregious call.
Yeah.
That's really bang bang. It might be safe.
It's just hard to tell because we can't see the base moving before he tags him on the calf. And the thing that's somewhat telling is Jimenez did not leave the field right away. So got him on the thigh. Was the foot in? Was the left foot on the bag?
And the foot never left the base, so if he beat the throw, he's safe. But it's really hard to tell. From that angle right there, it looked like he was in there, but I don't know if there's enough to overturn it.
Yeah, it was literally bang, bang. Probably Volpe's foot got first, but very close. And that's why it's taken them so long.
Yeah, this is a long replay here, huh?
Aaron was not too happy about some of the calls yesterday. Showed some annoyance on a check swing, and you can see he's a little chapped right now.
Stands. The runner's out. New York will lose their challenge.
Still not happy. That wasn't enough to overturn it. So he is caught stealing 2-6. Well, that pretty much sums up how Aaron's feeling about the call. 3-3 as we go to the fifth. We go to the top of the fifth inning. Audi scoreboard 3-3 throughout the entire between inning stanza. Boone just barking to no one in particular. Angrily chewing seeds. Looking out toward the second base up, Brennan Miller. And the one thing that's a little bit odd, if it was an egregiously bad call, I could see how'd you get that wrong on the field, but that is a really tight call. There's got to be something underlying that we don't know about.
No. He fights for his players. That's why his players love him. That's probably his best trait.
Now, Brennan Miller, the second base ump that he's mad at, was the umpire that he did the Savages in the box thing about. Oh no.
Kind of felt like Volpe's spikes caught in the mud a little bit in the ground.
It's like his leg was extended and then he started to bend away while the other leg went in, and he didn't pop up quick enough.
When you talk about sliding, you talk about sliding spikes up. The sweeper. Guerrero barely gets a piece of it.
Popped up. Wells makes the play. One away. And that brings up Varsho, who's 2 for 2 against Will Warren.
A weird change of events here, Coney. I mean, the first 3 innings, both of these pitchers looked unhittable, and then all of a sudden Warren gets up the 3 spot, and out of nowhere, Yankees throw up a 3 spot up right after him.
He looks a lot like his father. Gary, I played against his father. He used to play for the Cubs.
Varsho is named after Gary's teammate, Darren Dalton.
Dutch had that impact on a lot of guys. Real tough catcher, leader.
He used to strut around like John Wayne, didn't he? Had some bad knees.
Varsho hit a walk-off grand slam against the Rays on Wednesday. and hit the game-winning single in the 10th inning in Detroit on Saturday. He's always been a very good defensive player, but his offensive numbers are pretty good this year. McMahon. Marshall gets down the line, 2 away. Here's Okamoto. Two and one.
Fastball counts. Fastball, swing and a miss.
If he gets more of those, that's 92 miles an hour. It's the release point, the deception. And then off of that, the sinker. So when he's right, that's what you get, the back and forth. When he's going well and he's on top. As you mentioned before, when he got in trouble, it was the walks, right? He kind of lost the zone a minute. The next thing you know, some balls get through and 3 runs are on the board, but he's back in it now.
It goes to show you when they pull out that radar gun, it's not, it doesn't mean everything. It means a lot, but it doesn't mean everything.
So true. Movement profile, release point. No 2 fastballs are the same. No 2 4-seamers or 2-seamers are the same, really.
Strike 3, and that's being challenged by Okamoto.
The previous pitch was called a strike. The batter's challenge.
He's out. The challenge is incorrect.
Confirmed. Toronto has 1
So
down
Warren
remaining.
comes back, bounces back with a 1-2-3 inning. We're halfway through. It's 3-3. Mel?
How about that?
This is from the files of Kazuma Okamoto, nicknamed the Young General, honored his leadership, production, and popularity with the Yomiuri Giants. He started a pregame gratitude ritual with teammates, interpreters, and staff in a dugout circle to share what they are thankful for. We do that all the time here at Yes. And a dedicated family man, he chose the Blue Jays in part because his young daughter liked the logo the best out of all major league teams.
Now, wait a minute. How can you like that better than the NY, huh? We need to have a talk here.
I would agree. Here's Austin Wells. What did you say today in our gratitude circle, Paul?
You know what? I wrote it down because I can use it again tomorrow. You know, my gratitude was that I was at the ballpark and I wasn't sitting on the Deegan anymore.
Deegan was kind of clogged up today, Deegan.
Hey guys, I'm grateful I get to work with you every day. That's what I said in the circle. A little too, laid it on too thick down here?
No, You know what? I got emotional when you said it, and I'm getting emotional again.
I love that. Hey, Okamoto was also asked how he's adjusting to life in the States and life in Toronto, and he said Toronto gives off Tokyo vibes, so he feels extremely comfortable. He's also been enjoying trying different foods in the clubhouse. So far, he likes quesadillas and sandwiches. Can't wait to see what else he gets to try throughout the course of the year that he's not used to.
Well, Okamoto and I would really get along because I love to try new food.
Yeah. It sounds like he's ordering off the children's menu along with you.
That's
Barbecue
a good way.
fillet tips.
Good way to weigh somebody down pregame. Pastrami sandwich, Michael.
Oh.
That is not my favorite.
I don't see you as a sashimi guy or,
No.
sushi. Or...
Nope.
You know, believe it or not, I was a go-to out at the Rye Deli before I'd come to a game. You know, like Tuesday or Thursday, get a first cut Reuben.
Swing and a miss. And it didn't lie heavy on you during the game?
It was at 2 o'clock. I mean, we weren't playing until 7.
Right.
That was a go-to. have any special places, Coney, when you needed a big game, World Series game or something, you ate lunch or something in the city or anywhere?
Not really. You know, I was the opposite. I hated to be, you know, dependent on some sort of superstition. I was the opposite.
Yeah.
Of it. Wasted energy for me. It's like, oh, I gotta go find my lucky socks. You know, I gotta, you know.
Always exhausted just watching all the rituals of Wade Boggs. I'm like, I don't even know how you could go play now. I've been exhausted.
Yeah, I don't have the energy for that.
Now, getting to know you as I've gotten to know you, I would think that you would try to have gotten in the way of Boggs to do his thing. Did you ever try to do that?
The guy who did was Jimmy Key. He got under.
Moved the clock one day.
Yes, Jimmy Key was the one.
He had him run his sprints at like 7:17.
7:22 or some crazy number. And Jimmy Key actually moved the hands at the clock. Back when we had hands on the clock. That shows you how long ago it was. But Boggsy about lost his mind.
Jimmy Key knew how to push his buttons.
Yeah, he did.
Better than anybody.
So we see Tim Hill warming. All right, David, was that the face I'm done, or you think he's still in?
It's possible, just because it's such a grind for Will Warren, and he's thrown so many pitches in those few innings.
That right there, when you start stretching, and you saw Aaron Boone talking with him between innings. So I think you're right, Coney. It's just the heat and how long the innings were.
That's a good at bat for Grisham as he works a walk on base for the second time against Cease.
You know, one of the problems when you're a manager and you're making, you know, the game faces down, the hat's up. He's talking to, you know, he's clearly out of the game. One of the problems with Aaron Boone, if you're going to run him back out there, he's got 86 pitches. The leadoff guy gets on, you got to get him out anyway. So you're better off with a reliever starting with a clean inning. I mean, that's the quandary for all major league managers. Do I push him, and what happens if he gets in trouble? Now you got a reliever in a jam.
You know, that zero after they tied it up is a big inning, though. You know, he went through the big grind of the fourth inning, giving up the 3 spot. But then as soon as the Yankees tie it up, you know, you throw up a 0, and that's a good sign.
The 2-0. High fly ball, right field. Sanchez back on the track at the wall. See ya. A home run from Ben Rice. A 2-run shot. And the Yankees lead 5-3.
Well, Ben Rice, as we said, it's not just the Aaron Judge show anymore. His 16th of the year. Some kind of year he is having. Looks like the injury's over and he's back on track. And the Yankees have come all the way back on one of the American League's best pitchers. Take a 5-3 lead.
So now he has the same amount of home runs as Judge. When this happens, Judge usually goes yard. Just to say, no, no, no. And here's Judge at the plate. Also, he now leads the Yankees with 33 runs batted and passing Bellinger.
Yeah, he's been solid. I mean, you hate to see that week that he took off, because then it kind of took him a week to get going again. Had trouble in Milwaukee, but ever since then, looks like his swing's back on track.
One and 2. Cease's pitch count's getting up there as well. Next pitch will be his 90th. still 1-2.
That's a fastball up and in, followed with a changeup before then, and Ben Rice caught up to it, no problem, and that's the strength he has. Right, last night you saw him cover the ball away. He's able to get to the ball inside, so you better make good pitches because he can cover both sides of the plate.
And look how quick he is. This ball's up and in.
You see how close his hands come through with his body, and that's just enabling the barrel of the bat to get out in front and catch up to that inside heater.
That pitch is almost off the plate, and that was impressive to get to that pitch. Especially this guy, power guy, coming up and in on you. Watch this, coming in your living room. That's up and in, and he just beat him to the pass. That's the part of the plate that Ben Rice has made significant improvement on since he first showed up.
Yeah, it looked like this year from last year, he really spread his legs a little bit at the plate, which gives him a little more balance, a lot shorter stride, which your foot gets down a little bit quicker, and it allows you to really get to the inside pitch a lot easier.
And the 3-2. Strike 3. Judge not challenging that one, but he's shaking his head.
See, the hands come in. Now, you know you're beat a little bit, but then you're enabled yourself to get it out there by adjusting. And
it's a strong boy right there.
Yeah, you don't think about it. It's just a reaction.
It's down towards the label a little bit. It's 96 miles an hour exit velocity. But he didn't crush it. He just got to it and got leverage on it enough to get it out in Yankee Stadium. It makes him so dangerous here now. You can do that to a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
And all of a sudden, a lot of people, you're talking about how can we fix things, and they talk about the catching situation. You got Ben Wright. I don't think you want to lose his offense by sticking him behind the plate. Too many things can happen. The last pitch on Aaron Judge. Should he challenge? Probably, but he'd already challenged once. It's really just not his thing.
6 times he's challenged, 5 times he's had it overturned. I think he challenges that one, it gets overturned.
You got to do it right now.
Yeah.
Any hesitation, they won't give it to you.
Nacco made his major league debut last night. He's getting ready again. Three and 2. Ground ball, backhanded by Vlad, flips to Cease, who just beats Bellinger to the bag. But the Yankees take the lead. Ben Rice takes the fastball up and in and just powers it over the wall into the seats, and when it lands, Yankees lead 5-3. Thank you, Bob. We go around the majors. A brilliant young catcher for the Braves, Drake Baldwin, placed on the 10-day IL, strained right oblique. He was having a good year. Ryan Jeffers of the Twins also having a good year, but left hand fracture the hamate bone, so he's going to be out a while. And this is the catchers around the majors. Shea Langoliers, .394 with 4 homers and 13 ribbies last 17 games. And Tim Hill will take over and deals inside to Pinago. 1-0.
I've been pretty impressed with Hendricks at bat so far in these first 2 games. He looks like he's got an idea of the strike zone. Looks pretty comfortable in there, very balanced.
Well, he got to that ball, the sweeper early in the game. I mean, that ball jammed you, and you know, if you're not able to get through that, and he was.
Well, the Yankee bullpen get these 12 outs, and it registers as a win for Will Warren. But there's a long way to go. And David Bednar likely not available today after 2 tough outings. So from 3-0, Hill gets Pinago looking for strike 3.
You know, by the 6th, 7th pitch, you figure you see it a little bit better, but he just got locked up by that delivery. And Tim Hill, he does not walk a lot of people, doesn't fool a lot of people. Hey, here's my sinker. Do something with it.
Yeah, that's below the border right here. This is Laredo. When you come down that low and you can sling it out away to a lefty, you can get him frozen like that. He just can't be a comfortable at bat for left-handed batters right here.
You're just not used to seeing that release point, you know, and it takes you a while to find it, and usually by that time you find it, you've already made an out.
2-way. So Schneider electing not to pinch hit for his lefty batters who don't start against lefties with Hill in there, because he figures the Yankees will eventually go to a righty out of the bullpen, but they have 3 right-handed hitters on the bench and a switch hitter. They could have pinch hit for both Pinago and Sanchez. Here's Davis Schneider. Only reason Davis Schneider playing today against a righty is because Ernie Clement has a strep throat, so he's not able to play. He didn't even feel well yesterday, but he played and had a big home run against Weathers. No one in the Yankees could believe that he hit that ball out,
including Weathers. You saw his reaction walking off the field.
Strike from Hill. Yankees lead 5-3. They trailed 3-0 after 3.5. But an opposite field 3-run home run by Ryan McMahon in the bottom of the 4th tied it. And then a 2-run home run by Ben Rice to right center gave the Yankees the lead, which they enjoy right now. Three and 2. Hill just comes right at you.
Coney, I'll bet you $1 he throws a sinker here. What do you think?
And it's ball 4. You win $1.
He doesn't have a 4-seam, but that was a misquote by the analytics department.
Occasional slider he's been toying with.
So here is Jimenez. RBI single to left against Warren in the 4th. 1 for 2.
When you watch Tim Hill pitch, you see, 90 tops, 88, 89. But to be able to throw that hard from that low is really hard to do. Believe me, I tried it. It's hard to get any leverage throwing that low submarine and throw that hard. So,
yeah, you're always going to get the movement, but you're right. It was always the guys, velocity-wise, you could really hang in there because they couldn't throw hard enough.
Soft ground ball. Jazz to first. And a scoreless inning for Tim Hill as the Blue Jays lead 1 on. Go to the bottom of the 6th. This is retailers. Learn more at Genesis.com and by the New York Lottery. This could be Your lucky play. Jazz Chisholm Jr. will lead off against the new Toronto pitcher. It's Adam Macko. On for your Einstein scoreboard, Yankees lead 5-3 as we start the bottom of the 6th. So the Yankees handle Dylan Cease, who's been having a great year. They score 5 runs in 5 innings against the guy who came in with a 2.41 ERA.
And the Yankees only 4 hits tonight off of Dylan Cease, but 2 of them produced 5 runs.
Yeah, that's where the home run really comes into play against good pitchers. If you can throw up a couple big flies, boy, it sure helps.
And Jazz Chisholm down on strikes. Well, the Yankees return to Prime tomorrow to take on the Blue Jays. Don't miss a minute of the Yankees beginning at 6:30 only on Prime. And we have some pitching matchup. Schlittler against Savage.
2 of the really bright young stars in Major League Baseball on the starting rotation side.
Savage started the season on the IL. Since coming back, he's pitched well, 1-1, 1.40. And Schlittler, well, those numbers could talk for him. I don't need to. One and one. McMahon had the big blow, got the Yankees right back in it. An opposite field 3-run home run in the 4th inning.
The old slip pitch, Coney, where you know, that doesn't have much bite there.
Curveball. I hit Pedro Guerrero in the head one day with one of those. He wanted to kill me.
Bet he was happy with that, huh?
Ground ball through for a base hit. So he's turned an 0 for 24 into a 2 for 2. Let's take a look at the exit velocity presented by Spectrum of all of McMahon's 4 home runs. Well, tonight was the hardest hit at 104.1. And by the way, tonight's would have been a home run in all 30 ballparks. There's Volpe, 1 for 2.
Just changes everything when the Yankees get length in their lineup. The bottom of the order is when they can really get on a run. Because we know the guys at the top have been doing their job. And Jazz Chisholm's getting going now.
Yeah, he's been much better lately, no doubt about it. And, you know, Spencer Jones, you're still trying to figure out what you're going to get from him. Bellinger's been solid, no doubt about it. But Jazz, and if you get McMahon just hitting, you know, the way he has in the past, Volpe's looked really good since coming back from his injury.
Foul tip into the glove of Heineman, 1 and 2.
This lineup is built for home runs. There's no doubt about it. They can drive the ball out of the ballpark. When you look like last night, 5 stolen bases, great base running, slide. I mean, it gives you a different way of winning a game when the home runs aren't there.
Entertaining too. See action on the bases.
So with his single tonight, Volpe now has reached 12 of 22 plate appearances. He has 5 hits and 7 walks. Three and 2. Grounded foul.
You know, these are the type of at-bats that you love to see Volpe get. Deep in the count. Make the pitcher work. See more pitches. Get on base more often.
That one is looped into left field, and backing up and making the play is Jimenez for the second out.
Goldschmidt gonna come up and pinch hit for Spencer Jones.
Another guy that's really taken off offensively over the last week or 10 days.
Schneider's not gonna let it happen.
Is going to go to the bullpen. Yankees up 5-3. Yankee brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. 43 and 30, 3.43 ERA, 29 saves with the Yankees from 2016, 2022, then with the Blue Jays from 23 to 25. I think I know this one. You have this one, Dave?
Gonna have to rack a little bit here.
All right. Chase Lee called up today from AAA as Joe Mantiply went on the IL with left knee inflammation. Second big league season. Lee is 27 years old.
Which hand did he throw with?
Right.
He's a righty?
Yep. So Goldschmidt against Lee. Would this concern you, David? He went to Alabama on an academic scholarship, and he graduated with a degree in aerospace engineering. Is he too smart to pitch?
Well, there's not a lot of degrees like that down in the dugout, I'll tell you that.
Mike Messina was a pretty smart guy.
Very. Stanford guy.
Looks like there's some trouble with the pitch com.
I used to walk in the clubhouse every day and just stop intentionally and look over, and you see to be sitting there doing crossword puzzles. Look at him and just like, really? And just walk right to my locker.
That's a pretty smart guy from Dartmouth. And another smart guy from Yale. You visited the country of Columbia, right, David?
I did. Yes,
I went to
did.
a basketball game there
I've
once.
been to
There you
the
go.
hospital at Columbia.
I had to sneak in the gates, too. They were checking IDs, I think.
2-2.
I talked to Ron Darling, obviously played with him with the Mets and here broadcasting for TBS, as we just showed. He had one of the most famous college games ever. Him and Frank Viola locked up in college. 11-inning game. Yale versus St. John's.
Runner goes. Big jump. And a stolen base from McMahon. That's his third of the year.
It's almost like the Yankees know something going on. They had 5 stolen bases last night. I don't know if it's almost like a timing play or whatever, but they've given the catcher absolutely no chance in this series to throw guys out.
And the pitch is up and away, so Goldschmidt pinch hitting, works a walk, and that passes the baton to Austin Wells. Now, Paul, you believe in due, right? So Austin Wells is 3 for his last 34. He's due.
Yeah, Joan Cohn believed in due, right?
She did. She also believed in manageable games, too. She was keeping score.
Wells has struck out twice. Breaking ball outside, 1-0.
I've said it numerous times. Sometimes when you're really struggling, these are your best at bats because you got men in scoring position, and you know you're so into just trying to get another run across the plate, you kind of forget about everything, your mechanics and what's going on wrong. And sometimes it can be the best thing for you.
1-1 on Wells. He struck out in the 3rd and in the 5th against Cease. Two and one.
Do you find yourself guessing in these situations as a hitter? You know, you're struggling. Maybe I go out there and cheat, look for a first pitch fastball.
Yeah, you always find yourself not wanting to get beat inside. And, you know, when you don't trust yourself to get to the ball inside, then you do. You're right. You start to give a little bit, and that just takes you away from everything you're trying to accomplish. And when you look at this lead coming in, it's really kind of backfired because now Wells is off a righty after he walked Goldschmidt.
I mean, you would think a guy with an aerospace degree would figure out pitch count.
Wasn't speaking his language, Mike.
Now, we said he went to Alabama on an academic scholarship, and he ended up on the baseball team because the coaches said, lower your arm slot and see how that works. And he watched video of Darren O'Day and Steve Cishek, and he wound up on the team. Three and one. Mason Fluharty, the only other lefty in the bullpen, heating up. So a 3-1 count on Wells. First and second, 2 outs. And he walked him to load the bases. Well, big at bat now for Trent Grisham.
Yeah, with the state of the bullpen with the Yankees, this would be a great inning to really bust this thing open. So, you know, you figure Bednar, Cruz, the guy's probably not available. They pick back-to-back nights.
Yeah, 2 outs, bases loaded. Big point right here. Big at bat for Trent Grisham.
Grisham 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Bases loaded with the Yankees. Lee missing. And the Yankees will not chase against Lee. Ground ball, second base. And Schneider makes the play, and the Yankees leave the bases loaded. We go to the 7th inning. It's 5-3 New York. Gracie Cashman sits down with former New York Rangers goaltender Mike Richter for a deep dive into the numbers that defined his career. Watch a new episode of The Story of My Number, presented by the New York Lottery tonight, following Yankees coverage on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Jake Bird takes over in the 7th inning. On the Ford scoreboard, Yankees lead 5-3, so Tim Hill worked a scoreless 6. Yankees trying to get 12 outs out of the bullpen today as the starter Will Warren went 5. Heineman will start it off. So let's first guess, David. If it gets to the 9th inning, Yankees in a save situation, who's closing? Because it's not Bednar.
I think you'd look at the lanes. I think you really do. You go matchup.
Ground ball. Oh, a nice play by Ben Rice. And he flips to Bird to get the out.
You can't, I mean, 2 outs, nobody on, okay, great play. But a lead off an inning in a 2-run game, I mean, that is a huge play by Ben Rice. Going to take a double away right there.
One of the times where A right-handed throwing first baseman has the advantage down the line because the glove's on the left hand. You can go get that one. And boy, does he. What a fantastic play. That's a double. And nobody out.
Now you can smile. Home run and a nice play like that.
Was Tino Martinez like there?
Yeah.
So Grantino do that a few times.
And I had such a good view in right field of Mattingly and Tino. They were such good defensive first basemen.
Let's take a look at the Yankees bullpen budget brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. So Cruz probably unavailable, Bednar unavailable. They've pitched 2 in a row. They're going to pitch somebody 3 out of 4 days, which they also like to avoid, but that's the state of the bullpen right now.
And how much confidence do you have in a major league debut from Cruz, who just got called up too? I mean, would you bring him in a close game?
Brand 2. You don't want to give a free pass to Springer and have Guerrero come up as a tying run. Swing and a miss, got him. Didn't throw in the breaking ball, went with the sinker.
Yeah, Springer is, they've really stayed away from going to fastballs in fastball situations, but this sinker got to by him on the outside corner, was actually up in the strike zone, but it got him.
Yeah, the key is you got him to flinch because of the release point and the location of the pitch and the spin on the pitch. Gave you enough of a flinch.
And that hits Guerrero. A curveball that just didn't curve.
It just completely comes out of your hand, huh, Cody? You wonder how you can do it, right?
That's what you call an ugly finder. There's no way you can get out of the way.
Well, Boone starts to match up. He's going to bring in Hedrick to face the lefty swinging Varsho. Come on back. Yankees up by 2.
We've talked about it. Really saved a double to start this inning. A good play going down the line. And that could set up to save this inning, really.
So Guerrero hit by a pitch. That takes Bird out of the equation, and Brent Hedrick comes on to face Varsho. One and 0. Grounded foul. One and 2. Varsho was 2 for 3 against Warren. Also a run scored, a couple singles. Okamoto is on deck. Line drive is a base hit. Judge will field. Going to third is Guerrero. The throw cut off by Volpe. So the Blue Jays playing the corners, first and third, 2 men out.
A really good bat by Varsho, and the slider before was a really good one. This one didn't get off the plate, and he stayed in there and just lined it to right field. You know, Guerrero runs a lot better than you think he does, and you know he goes first to third with ease right here. Gets it moving a little bit. Huh?
And Matt Blake will go out and talk with Hedrick, who has to deal with Okamoto now.
You can see where the you know, the matchups aren't exactly what Aaron Boone wants. I mean, you've got a lefty facing Okamoto here in a big situation, but you're short in your bullpen, so you really don't have a lot of options.
Strike. Hedrick started off the season pitching great. Last couple of times out, he's made that one mistake. He's rebounded from it, but has made that one big mistake. Not this time. Ground ball to Volpe. And they get the force at second, and that will do it. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base at the end of 6.5 innings of play. Yankees lead this one 5-3, but it's time for the 7th inning stretch, and we'll stay right here as we honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you rise, remove your caps, and please direct your attention to the area behind home plate as the New York Yankees welcome an honored military guest. United States Navy Lieutenant Commander Louis Mirabal from Englewood, New Jersey, who served in Operation Enduring Freedom. The Yankees say thank you, Louis, for your sacrifice and for your service to our nation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join us in singing along with Robert Merrill's rendition of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Cease went 5. Yankees struck out 9 times, but they put 5 runs on the board. Piniago, a 1 for 3. RBI single, scored a run. Warner won 5 innings. He's the pitcher of record on the winning side. Cease on the losing side. And Yankees had 3 home runs yesterday. They have 2 today, both huge. And that's the runs for the Yankees. A 3-run home run by McMahon and a 2-run home run by Rice. That's the difference. Like a paper moon. Mason Fluharty. Fourth pitcher used by John Schneider. And he'll face Rice, Judge, and Bellinger. Lefty, righty, lefty. He has 7 scoreless appearances in May after a 7.36 ERA through the month of April. Ground ball, backhanded by Schneider, and they get Rice. Lefties are 3 for 32 against Fluharty. Help America's Heroes. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to t2t.org. Here's Aaron Judge, now tied with Rice, both 16 home runs. Fluharty strikes out 31% of the batters he faces. This is his 25th game of the year, moving into a 5-way tie, a 24th game, 5-way tie for the most in the American League. And one of those 5 is Brent Hedrick, who had his 24th appearance in the top of the inning. And Judge down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight.
Well, that's a good breaking ball right there, Coney. After up and in, and then go back to this breaking ball.
You can really see the spin on that sweeper there. That's how you get that side-to-side horizontal movement.
Bellinger. He's just not bothered by left-handers. Single for Bellinger.
He doesn't have a lot of movement when he's swinging the bat well. You know, he stays tall. He allows the ball to get there, and that front shoulder, it stays in there. He's able to, I mean, even that high pitch is able to stay on top of it.
His aggressive style serves him well. He never lets a good first pitch go by. He's always ready to hit, especially when a lefty's on the mound.
So here's Jazz. Oh and 1. Jazz has had 4 straight multi-hit games, but today 2 strikeouts and a walk and a run scored. One and 1.
Was there something you did differently, Paul, when you finally got a chance to play against left-handed pitching? You got reps?
Yeah, I mean, it's all confidence, and the confidence comes by, you know, at bats. But, you know, your true thing is to stay there. Center field, left field. Just got to make sure.
Oh, what a play by Varsho.
Make sure Varsho's not in center field. But, yeah, using left center field is so important. It was for me against left-handed.
Well, the Yankees, Jazz is hanging out at first, thinking that was not caught cleanly.
Yeah, it looked like it almost came in. I think that's the gold on the back of his glove that was shining, not the baseball.
Ooh. The Yankees will not challenge. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. One of the top fielders in the game takes a base hit away. So Brad Ausmus will manage the rest. As we go to the 8th inning, Miles Straw pinch hit for Pinago against Hedrick. So Brennan Miller is the one who made the out call, and Boone goes, nice job, and he does not have a challenge, because remember, he challenged the play at second on Volpe, which Brennan Miller also made that call, so he couldn't challenge that catch by Varsho. And he was very demonstrative in the dugout. Brennan Miller was looking in the dugout and threw him out. And then Boone got his money's worth. And remember, we remind you what we said earlier, Brennan Miller is the guy who was the receiving end of the Savages in the Box tirade from a couple of years ago, which became kind of a meme in baseball. Gained a lot of traction, and John Tumpane, the crew chief and the home plate umpire, had to break it up.
A lot of times, I mean, as a manager now, you do have the right to challenge, but you can't be challenged in every play. You want the call made correctly initially, because if it's not, 100% on video, they don't overturn it. And that's what Miller has done. It seems like anything that has been close has gone against the Yankees. And this, again, I mean, it's bang, bang, but it looks like initially he's safe. And if he's called safe, they're not going to overturn it. And if they call this, a trap ball or whatever, they probably won't overturn it.
I'm not sure if that would have been overturned even if they had a challenge left. Yeah. These are really, really close calls.
They are. And there's a history there. And you're right, Michael. I mean, ever since, Aaron sort of, was displeased with the second base umpire, that umpires look to run you. And all Boone did there was raise his arms, and he got run out of the game quickly because of the history you just documented, Michael. Going all the way back to the Savages in the box. So umpires are human too.
Lenin Sosa is pinch hitting for Jesus Sanchez. Quickly down on the count 0-2.
I had one of those with an umpire named John Shulock one time.
Yeah, Shulock, old curly-haired guy, right?
Yeah, and he let me go a little bit, and then he had a talk with me in between innings. He said, "You do one more thing, you're out." And that's what happened there with Boone. All he did is raise his arms, and that was it. You're out.
In his career, that is the 48th ejection for Boone, the second this year.
48, that's healthy.
And that ties Billy Martin and Tommy Lasorda for 26th all-time, the leaders who recently passed Bobby Cox. I think ABS has saved him a little bit.
It's harder to get run out of games nowadays, too.
Absolutely.
So that's an impressive number.
James, is that he's past Girardi, right?
Did you ever see the one with Jim Leyland was arguing with the umpire, and then God Bless America came on, and he stood there and waited for the song to end, and then got back on him again?
Right back at him.
And then he got run out of the game. Wait a minute, take your hat off.
Boone has 48 and Girardi has 43. Now, you might remember the first ejection for Boone. The first ejection was on a Yarborough balk call, which Boone said, just explain it, and they threw him out. And the league later said that the call was indeed incorrect. You might remember Rice was behind him and then was sneaking in behind the runner and didn't get exactly to the bag. And the umpire said it was a balk, but it really wasn't. And the league admitted it wasn't, as Sosa, the pinch hitter, strikes out against Hedrick. Well, kickoff Memorial Day weekend at Yankee Stadium on Friday, May 22nd, when the Yankees take on the Rays. It's Giancarlo Stanton basketball jersey night. First 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Giancarlo Stanton basketball jersey, courtesy of State Farm. Tickets are going fast, so get yours today at Yankees.com. Remember, not only do you get a jersey, but you get the debut in the 2026 season of Garrett Cole pitching his first Major League game since Game 5 of the World Series in 2024. That's all Friday, right here. And we'll have it on Yes.
Might have to take a helicopter in for that giveaway, huh? The Deacon's been tough this week, Michael.
It has not been fun.
Remember when George got the helicopter to try to dry the field that one time?
Dry the field out, I do. I was ready for a rain delay. Had dinner plans and all. Next thing you know, the helicopter's flying
right there in center field.
Warming up for the Yankees is Camilo Doval and Giovanni Cruz. For Cruz, it would be his Major League debut. So let's say Hedrick gets this batter and gets out of the inning. Who's closing the ninth? Would you bring in a guy making his Major League debut to close?
That's a good question. But, you know, Boone's probably making the call and from the manager's office right now.
Popped up, shallow right field. Judge is there, and a really good performance by Brent Hedrick. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Fall, Corona will be rewarding fans all season long with a chance to win trips to MLB's biggest moments from the All-Star game to the postseason. When the line drops in, it's time for the first pitch, fresh air, and sunshine. This is our playa. Hyundai scoreboard 5-3, Yankees lead Toronto. Ryan McMahon will lead off. And Louis Varland, pretty much the closer on Toronto, will come on. Look at the ERA and 34 strikeouts in 23 innings pitched. 0-1. Varland has allowed 1 earned run in 23 2/3 innings, and that makes him their highest leverage reliever. 28 years old. He came over in a deadline trade last July from the Twins. It was Varland and Ty France for Alex Rodin and Kendry Rojas. A lot of big outs in the playoffs. Miles Straw moves in and right. Davis Schneider moves to left. And taking over at second is Lenyn Sosa. And again, more problems with the pitch count. It is absolutely beyond me why he's not tested before the pitcher comes in the game. Beyond me. Chop slowly, grabbed there by Varland. He's going to go to first, take it himself. 1 away. This MLB season, get a Baja for a blast. When a home run clears 420 feet, you can score a free 20-ounce Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Register now at BajaBlastHomeRuns.com to unlock the offer. There's Anthony Volpe, 1 for 3, caught stealing today. Yankees lead 5-3. Center field, Varsho, out number 2.
Well, you just like the way he's swinging the bat, though. I mean, he's aggressive. He's keeping the bat through the strike zone. I mean, you really like what you've seen since he's come back. He's had a game plan, and it's not easy to come off the injured list, you know, in mid-May. You're trying to catch up to everybody stats-wise, but he's done a good job. Caught the ball, made some good base running decisions, had some good swings.
Louis Varland, this guy on the mound, has been just a real key to their bullpen since they acquired him. He's tough.
And when that trade was made, it shocked everybody in Minnesota. He's a hometown kid. They never thought they would trade him, but they got an offer, and they just pretty much broke up that team. Strike 3. That's an impressive inning, and it's been an impressive season for Varland. 9th inning coming up. Who's coming in? Looks like Doval. Yes, brought to you in part by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Time to name that Yankee. Here are the clues again. And think Kermit. Think Kermit.
I cheated. Joe Girardi sent me it. I knew. I mean, I should have had this. It's Chad Green. Of course it's Chad Green.
I actually got that one. What was last night? Stevie Donahue met me in the tunnel on the way out. I couldn't even remember last night because I didn't get it.
Yeah, he told me that.
Oh, yeah?
I wasn't going to bring it up.
So Doval will try to close it out. First up, Jimenez jumps on the first pitch. Foul ball.
What was the answer like?
Kelly Johnson.
Kelly Johnson. There we go.
Now he was amazed that you didn't remember. I said, Paul doesn't remember the last out of the game. It's just sketched out.
You know, they always taught you in baseball to have a short memory.
That's
right.
Right. Move on to the next game.
It's over.
The 0-1. Now, Doval obviously has a history as a closer. He was a great closer at one time for the San Francisco Giants, then lost the gig. And that's probably why he was available for the Yankees to get him at the trade deadline. And there's sometimes he's on the mound, he looks unhittable, and other times he's hittable. 2-1. 107 saves with the Giants, 1 with the Yanks. Lefties hitting .323 against him this year. Righties .135. Right-handers have a .397 OPS against him. Lefties .944. Those are the splits. Three outs away from taking their second straight against Toronto. 2-2. 3-2.
I always wondered, like the bullpen guys, Coney, like Bednar, Cruz, no, they're not pitching tonight. You know, they throw back-to-back. You can pick up a ball, or do you still toss, try to get loose?
Before the game a little bit,
Yeah.
probably, yes.
That's a big walk. Because now, barring a double play, you're probably going to see Guerrero, as you did yesterday in a game situation. Fans after the final out get highlights, analysis, clubhouse interviews, and we'll hear from Aaron Boone on the manager's report. That's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. Boone is consuming the game right now, watching us as he was tossed out of the game at the end of the 7th inning, or the middle of the 7th. Runner goes, and a foul ball. That's something that comes along with Doval. He takes a long time to deliver. He's been better this year at it, but you could still steal on him.
Yeah, you pretty much better know you're going to make it. A 5-3 game and the leadoff walk.
It's really too, it's his closed stance from the start kind of disallows him from having a quick move to first.
Here we go.
And most teams know that. So it's a double-edged sword. It's not just the delivery to home and the timing. It's the inability to have a quick move to first. Long, you know, the arm action too, kind of a long armor. It's hard for him to do a quick snap throw. Part of what makes him great is that long arm that generates all that power, but it doesn't work so well on pickoffs.
Punched out toward right field, a broken bat single off the bat of Heineman. Check that. That was Ernie Clement, who was pinch hitting for Heineman. With a strep throat, he comes up and gets a big hit.
Yeah, right off the sick bed. Right off the end of the bat. See that little cutter, and it's just right off the end of the bat, a little dunker to right field. But, you know, this is just what has happened to Doval. He just cannot get things going to make things easy.
It's the way you're supposed to make hitters swing at your pitches, right? And he throws a perfect pitch, and that's the nature of the game. You know, sometimes you do what you're supposed to do, it doesn't work out. But for both ends, for hitters and pitchers.
So here's Springer, who struck out in a big situation last night against Bednar, and the Yankees again have to nail bite their way through the 9th inning. No Bednar available, no Cruz. Their two highest leverage relievers, but they both pitched 2 days in a row. You see, if things go wrong for Doval, next up is going to be Ryan Yarbrough. They've already used Hill, and they've used Hedrick.
Well, it's sort of a regroup right here. You know what? Forget about the guy at third. You get a 2-run lead. We need outs.
Again, you're talking about the other night, Coney pitching to the scoreboard. I mean, he has a two-seamer, but, you know, Springer is such a good fastball hitter inside. I think you got to stay away with this cutter the whole at bat.
And there's a strike.
You don't see Springer let too many fastballs go by like that on a first pitch. He didn't pick it up.
You know, the beauty of baseball is how every game impacts the next. And that's why we show you the bullpen budget. You know, what they had to do yesterday is going to be challenged. And they lose that challenge.
The call is confirmed. New York has one challenge remaining.
Well, that's a big pitch right there. It did look low, but you might as well take a chance at this point.
Exactly. You got him to burn.
Right back to Duvall. He knocks it down, and he's going to take the out at first. He's upset with himself that he didn't catch it on the fly. Might have been able to get a double play.
Yeah, and he was looking at Mendes back at third. I mean, who cares where he's going? You got to get some outs.
You think he had the out at second?
Yeah, that's tough, man. You're scrambling for the ball. You could heave that thing anywhere.
Yeah, I think what he almost had was off the forehead. That's what he had to get the glove away.
Now the tying run is at second base. Here's Vlad Guerrero. He's hurt the Yankees since the beginning of last year. Jimenez at third. Clement is at second. 101 fouled straight back. Quickly 0-2.
That's great location too. Away 101. I mean, you're really not going to get hurt with his pitch. I mean, Guerrero, sure, he could go to right field, but you're not going to drive that ball. You hate to see it up in the strike zone. You'd much rather see it kind of sinking down, but take the location.
Foul back.
Another 101, but that kind of leaked inside, and that's a dangerous pitch. This is the most I think I've seen him kind of rear back and try to get that extra velocity.
Ground ball foul. One with the slider there.
Yeah, he's got a good slider, especially when he gets it down there. 91 miles an hour. Had Guerrero way out in front. Give Guerrero Jr. for spoiling us. This is a good one. Good slider down. Boy, he barely got a piece of that. I give hitters credit for that. That is a nasty pitch, and he spoiled it. A good hitter.
0 for 3 tonight, was hit by a pitch. Infield is back, of course, second and third. Yankees lead by 2. Spoiling one pitch after the next. 102-mile-an-hour cutter.
Well, you got to say that Cabal's giving everything he's got tonight. I haven't seen him rear back like this in a while.
He hasn't been in the closer's role in a while. He's feeling it.
Driven out into right center. On the run is Grisham. He'll make the play. Tagging and scoring is Jimenez. And Clement heads back to second. A sac fly for Guerrero. Now it's 5-4 Yankees.
Well, you're going to get challenged here, and we'll go pitch by pitch just to show you this sequence for Duvall. I mean, here, Challenge City right there. Good swing, strike one. Boy, good location there. 0-2. Just no messing around, right? No going right after him, but there's the pitch that you wanted to have, but Guerrero spoiled it, spoiled another one, and this one right there, up and away. Good pitch to hit. Guerrero smokes it, but Grisham's right there.
Yeah, that's a loud out, and I was very surprised. I don't think Clement got a good read on it. He went halfway. I mean, he should have seen that, you know, Grisham made that look pretty easy. He should be at third base right now.
And going halfway doesn't make sense. He could have tagged up, and if the ball got past Grisham, he's scoring.
And, you know, you think, well, okay, he's going to score on a hit anyway. There's 2 outs. No, it makes a big difference having him on third base. You get a wild pitch, anything.
So it comes down to Dalton Varsho against Camilo Doval. They're trying to save this for Warren and obviously for the Yankees most of all. Clement under the weather, suffering from strep throat. That's why he didn't start today, but he came in as a pinch hitter and got that hit against Doval. Doval is the 5th Yankee pitcher tonight. Warren, Hill, Bird, Hedrick, and now Camilo Doval. Varsho with 3 hits tonight. And there's a ground ball. Ben Rice is not there. Not covering is Doval. It's a base hit. Stopping at third is Clement. Rice went too far to the right, and nobody was covering first.
Yeah, this is a play that Ben Rice is going to have to read and know that he needs to get to first base. It's out of his reach. He's got to know where Jazz is playing, but the key is the ball did not leave the infield. Kind of a jam shot. Ben Rice kind of stuck in nowhere land, and the ball not off the mound quick.
Yeah, you got to break, Zaval. You can't watch. You can't be a spectator. You've got to break right away. That's on him. You've got to be there.
So now first and third, still 2 outs, and here is Okamoto. Yankees trying to hold on. Oh, 1.
Well, we talked about Clement probably should have been at third base, and he would have scored on that ball. And you see, he kind of hesitated and got stuck halfway, and then it was just too late for him to tag up. Totally different play made right there by keeping it in the infield. He did not score. He would have scored if he'd have been at third base.
Runner goes. Foul back. He'll have to head back to first. Varsho, and the count 0-2. So a strike away. There's been so much nail biting the last 3 games. Yankee universe probably bleeding at the cuticles right now. Runner goes again. Pitch inside, almost hit him. So the runner takes second. Be a stolen base. Now the go-ahead runs in scoring position. Ground ball, Volpe. Fields. Fires, and the Yankees hold on and win 5-4. Doval picks up the save. Many contributions. Home runs by Ben Rice and Ryan McMahon. And the Yankees take their 2nd straight against the Blue Jays to start this 4-game set.
Well, you rack up wins, and the Yankees have played well at home all year. And that's got to be a big pickup for Doval to come in and save this game. A couple weird plays happen here in the 9th, but the Yankees go home with the win.
Doval coming through for the first time in a while since he's been in a closer role, and he's fired up. Ryan McMahon, that big 3-run home run, got the Yankees right back in it. Ben Rice, 2-run bomb. The Bronx Bombers got it done tonight.
3 home runs yesterday, 2 home runs today. And again, the bullpen makes you hold your breath, but again, you can exhale as the Yankees win this one 5-4. Will Warren picks up his 6th win of the season. He is 6-1. And the Yankees are 8-2 in his starts, and that'll do. We'll come back with awards post-game after that. Brought to you by Audi and the all-new Audi Q3.
Yeah, well, we're going to take it back to the 4th inning. Dylan Cease is dealing. 2 on, 1 out. Ryan McMahon does this. They're down 3-0. Not anymore. They're now 3-3. Ryan McMahon, a big blow right there.
Now time for the Chevy player of the game.
Well, Ben Rice just keeps on going on and takes a fastball up and in and just shoots it into the bleachers. His 16th of the year. What a year this guy's having.
5-6-0. Beating 4-9-0. Took an even 3 hours. Warren 6-1. Duvall his first save. Cease his second loss. Home runs, McMahon and Rice. We'll hear from Rice on the postgame show. And that's what Cease did tonight with the 9 strikeouts in 5 innings. Coming up on the Yes Network, stay tuned for the WB Mason postgame show with Bob Lorenz, Todd Frazier, and Adam Ottavino. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, and our executive producer is Jared Ames Boschnack. Join us again tomorrow as the Yankees and the Blue Jays play Game 3 here at the stadium. Coverage will begin at 6 p.m. on Yes. Pre-game coverage begins at 6:30 p.m. on Prime, with first pitch coming shortly after 7. Again, the final score, the New York Yankees 5 and the Toronto Blue Jays 4. For David Cohn, Paul O'Neill, and Meredith Morakovitz, I'm Michael K. saying see ya from the stadium. Now let's go to Bob Lorenz, Todd Frazier, and Adam Ottavino with the postgame show.